Julian Nagelsmann, maybe not a name that you know immediately, but you've certainly heard of that team in the Bundesliga that has a super young manager and went on an unexpected unbeaten run earlier this season. Well, that team is Hoffenheim and that manager is the aforementioned Julian Nagelsmann. So who is he, where did he come from, and how did he beat out the likes of Dortmund's Thomas Tuchel to win German Coach of the Year? Nagelsmann was born in Landsberg am Lech, about an hour's drive west of Munich. When he was young, he wanted to be a professional football player and was actually pretty good. He first signed on with FC Augsburg, and in 2002 he moved to 1860 München, where he played for 4 years in their youth squads. But he ultimately had to give up his dream of becoming a professional footballer due to persistent knee injuries. Not making it past the U19 level of football, he said that it was obviously very tough to step away from his dream of becoming a footballer. And he didn't want anything to do with the sport for a while. So he went to university and took business administration, but clearly the athlete in him hadn't left, and so he transferred to sports sciences. From there, he began gravitating back to football thanks to a familiar name, Thomas Tuchel, a man who would become his mentor, friend, and adversary in the future. Tuchel first asked him to scout out the opposition for him before Nagelsmann ultimately moved to 1860 München to become the assistant head coach of the under-17s. In 2010, he moved on to Hoffenheim as, again, the under-17 assistant coach, before becoming the head coach of the under-17s in 2011. Impressing in that position, he went on to become the assistant coach of Hoffenheim for the 2012-2013 season, in which goalkeeper Tim Weiss described him as Mini-Mourinho. That was probably a very fitting nickname for him, as in the following season, the 2013-14 season, he took over the head coaching role of the under-19s at Hoffenheim, making it all the way to the championship final and winning. In the following season, he made it to the final again, but they didn't manage to win. It was thanks to these performances that Nagelsmann was offered the job of the under-23 coach at Bayern Munich. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, Matthias Sammer, and even Pep Guardiola all tried to convince him to take the job, but Nagelsmann liked the career roadmap that he had at Hoffenheim, continued to coach the youth, and eventually become the senior team head coach in the 2016-17 season. That didn't exactly go to plan in the 2015-16 season, however. The manager at the beginning of the season was Markus Gisdol, whom had worked his way through the club's ranks since 2009. He was eventually sacked on October 25th, 2015, as he'd only managed 1 win and 3 draws from the first 10 matches in the Bundesliga. His replacement, Hub Stevens, didn't have much better luck, as he only managed 1 win and 5 draws from the first 10 matches in charge. He wasn't sacked, however, as he resigned due to heart problems. So, Nagelsmann's original projection of taking over the head coaching position at Hoffenheim in the 2016-2017 season was pushed forward half a year. This made Nagelsmann the youngest coach in Bundesliga history at 28 years of age. The local paper, and apologies for my pronunciation here, RHEIN-NECKAR-ZEITUNG, claimed that the appointment of Nagelsmann was a, quote, public relations stunt, and the Frankfurter Rundschau described it as, quote, a crackpot idea. Crackpot or not, Hoffenheim was sitting in 17th in the Bundesliga table, 5 points away from the relegation playoff spot, and with a lot of work to do before the end of the season. In his first match, Nagelsmann managed a 1-1 draw with Werder Bremen on the road. In his first match at home in the Warsaw RHEIN-Neckar Arena, he managed a 3-2 win over 7th place Mainz. He continued to turn the ship around and won 7 of their remaining 14 matches, to end the season in 15th, 1 point above the relegation playoffs. Jumping ahead to 2016-2017, Nagelsmann and Hoffenheim continued this run of good form, not losing a single Bundesliga match until match day 18 against fellow surprise story team RB Leipzig. His Hoffenheim team could be accused of giving up leads too easily, as they often end up drawing matches that they were winning. And while that has cost them, given that as of March 26, 2017, they have more draws than they do wins, they also have the second best defense in the league behind league leaders Bayern Munich, and only 2 losses in total this season. Perhaps not quite as exciting a story on the surface as, let's say, Leicester City, who similarly barely avoided relegation and went on to win the Premier League title the following year. But with a squad that knows how to avoid losing, has a great chance to secure European football for next season, and is managed by perhaps the most exciting young manager since André Villas-Boas, Hoffenheim could be building another mainstay in the upper echelons of the Bundesliga. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at Julian Nagelsmann, and if you did, why not hit that subscribe button, as we have other profiles you may enjoy on Romelu Lukaku, Antoine Griezmann, Dele Alli, and Alexis Sanchez. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. My name is Adrian, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace!